right, here we go. All right, thanks for joining. If you're on, if you're watching this later, appreciate it. So, got some cool stuff to show. Last Thursday, I showed a Moots frame. It's actually right here. We're going to be building this guy up with some Shimano GRX parts and a custom set of head, well, there's going to be some head rims, but we're going to put them on some Chris King hubs to match all the accents and that type of stuff. So anyway, but we've got another one. So we're doing two. Let me hang that back up. So we've got two of these to build up, two totally different builds though. So I've got another one here. It's actually the same accent colors and stuff in the frame. I haven't unwrapped it yet. I guess we could, but it's same deal. The frost blue and your blue accents. It's a different size frame. This one's a 55, and it's gonna go on our floor. We're gonna build it up. It's gonna be kind of like our Moots demo so that we can, you know, hopefully sell and build some more of these. And it'll probably get built up, and we'll probably change some configurations on it here and there just for some display and ride, and we're gonna review it and, you know, do all the kind of fun stuff with it. We'll probably ride it, take it some race, whatnot. So, and if you're interested in Moots build and you're close to that size frame, we'll be able to put you on it and use it for some fitting and decide what you want to do, builds, try it out, see how titanium rides and that type of thing. So, but back to this episode of this live cast is I was going to go through the build parts that we have for this frame, but talk about what we might do different with it, because we've got some pretty cool stuff and we like to mix match. We've got a couple other custom kind of deals we might do here pretty soon with some Aspero 5s, and we might use the zip wheels that came with the Moots build, might end up on an Aspero 5, so because we like to have some fun. But let me grab some parts and we'll walk through kind of what we're doing. So we ordered this one in with just a straight up SRAM Force build, and it's the kit that comes with a Moots build, but cool stuff. So when you pick an accent color with Moots, you know, we picked the frost blue, and then, you know, you can pick what stem you want to go with it. And we just said, we'll take a -6, kind of a standard -6 stem. And, you know, most stems, I should have had one here, but like if you take, say, like an Easton stem or a zip stem or something like that, if you look at the print, depending on which way you flip it, right, because a lot of these stems can be flipped one way or the other, the lettering, what they do is on the drive side make it so it's upright, and then the other one would be upside down. And so, but when you flip it up, then you're always reading it right side up. So we're going to run this stem -6. It's a pretty sweet stem. It's a titanium custom made Moots stem. So from either side of the bike, it's going to read Moots in upright direction. So cool. And, you know, when you pick an accent color, it comes with all the little bits and pieces with that accent color to match. So there, and then, right, because look at that. We've got some Chris King headset to go with it. This is the matte turquoise, and then we've got the bottom bracket. This is for a SRAM dub. And here's the titanium seat post that's going to go in it. This one's going to go in this frame. We picked the 0 offset, and I just know from I'm going to spend some time riding it, and I kind of know where I want my fit to be on it. And it's going to be based on all the bikes that we tend to build and put together for people. I know kind of how we're going to end up fitting somebody up on one of those, so on this gravel bike. And but check that out. Like, cool accents, titanium, Moots post, pretty cool stuff. So when you're gonna do one of these bikes, the frame's expensive, but the frame, I mean, it's really expensive, but the frame doesn't come just as a frame, right? You're getting Chris King bottom bracket, you're getting a Chris King headset, and then when you pick those Chris King accent colors, you're also getting, this is in the price of the frame, the titanium seat post, and you're getting the matching bits for that. And then, like I already showed, you're also getting the titanium matching stem, right? So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty sweet build. So pretty excited about it. Let me see. Okay, so zip wheels. The Moots SRAM Force build comes with the Zip 303 Explorer S's. If you do the red build, then it comes with the SWs. So these are the Explorer rims that don't have the dimples around them. And it's a different hub too. But I don't believe we're gonna build this frame up with these. So I've got a cool little project. I should have it here. Maybe Thursday we'll talk about it, because I might start diving into it by then. But I think we're going to take one of our Aspero 5s, specifically our Force XO build. And this is bouncing around a little bit, but it's kind of, that's the whole idea of these lives, is just some open talk. And if you want to add to it, type it in the comments and we'll chat and add to the discussion. If it's, you know, maybe it's something that carries into Thursday. But I want to take that Aspero 5, and I think the bike is sweet out of the box, but I kind of like the idea of taking the mountain bike cassette off of it. I get why Cervelo did that, but I don't think that's the cassette most buyers are going to want to ride that thing with around here. And I want to put the Explorer stuff on it, and I think it'd be pretty cool to see what it looks like set up with these wheels. Because the Aspero 5 has a 45mm tire clearance. I'm curious how it sets up with these super wide rims. And then we're gonna put these Explorer, these Goodyear tires on it, and see how that sits up. Anyway, I'm kind of curious. Like playing with bikes, like seeing how stuff fits and works out. So, and I kind of want to roll these. I want to see how they ride. I personally have not ridden these tires yet, nor have I ridden those wheels yet either. So. Pretty cool stuff. So more to come on that with the Aspero 5. We might put that up in the stand on Thursday and talk about that. Maybe I'll be part way into it or something by then. The other thing, so that what comes with this is we've got our Force Explorer derailleur. We're going to end up building this Moots up with this Force Explorer stuff, likely. I don't know. There's a part of me wants to put the mountain bike one on that, because I see it as a bit more of a less racy, and I'm kind of all-arounder. But we'll see. I don't know. We got some time to sort it out. We're initially, that frame's going to get hung up until we get our customers' build done, and then we'll dive into that. So, but it comes with your Force crank in a 44-tooth chainring. I think that's a good idea for the bikes that are going to come with the Force Explorer. I like that. I think the 44, so here's a Force Explorer cassette. I think the 44 puts you down in this part of the cassette a bit, and so you can be closer to your 1-tooth steps. And on the top end with the 44 with the 10-tooth, you can spin over 30 without a problem. And yeah, I like it. That 44 is probably a good balance. We had some conversations on here a few weeks ago about gear ratios and that type of thing. And I talked about the discussion Kyle and I had about doing the dam with, he was on a campy drive with a 38-tooth and a 9-tooth cog. And we talked about going up in chainring size, and you go too big, so like if you're running a 48 or a 50, you definitely get some sweet top end, but it also makes it so you're riding at 20 miles an hour up here in your bigger gear jumps, and so you're not necessarily in your, you know, favorite, you know, granularity of gear. So I think there's a big discussion for the chainring that you might ride regularly just for your fun and normal recreational riding is probably a different chainring than you would ride for a longer endurance race. And yeah, I think there's something to be said for that. But anyway, I dig the Force stuff. I like the SRAM Force stuff. The new Rival stuff's pretty awesome. But I don't know. I just think that the level of refinement between the Rival and the Force, it's kind of my go-to. But it's the problem is it's getting so dang pricey. So the other thing that came with this bike, this is the Carbon Zip Explorer bar. Honestly, the aluminum one, I hate the profile of it. I can't stand it. So I'm not sure yet what we're gonna do with the carbon one. We might build it up, I don't know, but if I'm gonna spend a lot of time riding it, what I don't like about it is I don't like the sweep. It feels weird to me. I like, this is a personal preference, so some people may really like this. I really like the sweep of the Easton AX bar. I like a sweep where the whole thing kind of gradually is coming out. What I don't like about the Zip bar is it's pretty standard kind of feel here, and then they just take this and turn it out. It's a little, I don't know. It's not, we'll see. One thing I will say though is it does feel a little different than the aluminum bar, right? With aluminum, you're a little limited on your sweep based on your mandrel and stuff. So carbon, you can form it a little differently. So I don't know. Maybe I'll end up liking this. I'll probably ride it just to try it out. So we'll see. More to come on that. It's likely to end up on this RSL, but let's see some other parts. Actually, I like this bar tape, this Zip. Well, yeah, their service course tape. I like it. It's thinner, but it's actually feels pretty good. I like it. I've ridden this. Kind of dig. We used to stock it in the shop. Not a lot of people bought it though. The Moots bike comes with this WTB saddle. I personally never been a big fan of the WTB saddles. Doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, saddles obviously like a personal preference, but some people like these. And yeah, I don't know. This is the Gravelier. We'll try it out. Yeah, so setting that aside here, just some cool parts to show. And then the other Moots build, titanium cages. So when you buy a Moots like build, you know what? I needed to go back on the frame set cost. These extra bits that were coming with this bike because we ordered one of their full build specs to have the parts kit with it. That other stuff I'm talking about doesn't come with the frame set. Sorry. You get the Chris King headset and bottom bracket, but you do not get like the bottle cages and the stem and the seat post. So I misspoke on that one. That stuff comes with the full build package. So anyways, these, they're like 30 grams. It's pretty funny. I think the cardboard weighs more than the bottle cage. One thing this parts kit probably should have came with a power meter. So at minimum, at least the spindled one on like this high end of a bike, because it's a pretty expensive bike. We'll be adding a power meter if we're gonna ride this. So I kind of like the spindle based ones, and we already have chain rings to mount to those 4-bolt chain rings. So I don't know. We might do that. We have one of those. but the spindle-based one is such a cheap upgrade as well. So we'll see. We've got a 170 crank on it. I used to ride 172.5s. I don't know if I like the idea of a 165 or too short, but the 170 seems to be, I'm long-legged as well. 170 seems to be pretty good. So let's see what else. This actually just are like hoods and whatnot. So these are gonna go on there. But anyway, if you're on or you just joined, you got a question about the build we're talking about. Moots build, we've got a couple of frames. We've got a 56 and a 55 Root RSL that we're building up. Two totally different builds. And I just kind of, last Thursday, that live replay is out there. We went through what we're going to do with the GRX build. And now I'm chatting around the SRAM build that we're going to put together on this one. And then a few of the swaps we might do with some of the drivetrain, and kind of teasing something that we're going to do with an Aspero 5 build as well. So, because those wheels are supposed to go on the Moots build, but I don't think they're going to. We might end up just putting a set of, what I'd like to do is get another set of Chris King hubs for this one, the match with the matte turquoise, and build those up maybe on some carbon reserve rims. I like the reserve rims, and we put a set of reserves recently on the GR40 44s on a custom time build, and I really liked it, but I wouldn't mind just building them up on some King hubs to match accents on this one. So the other, like I said, if you just joined in and watch the others, the other Moots frame, that's getting the matte turquoise Chris King hubs, but we're building those up on some head Belgiums, 32 hole. So kind of a, not going for like a light racy wheel set, but just going for a robust, really quality wheel set. So anyway, good stuff. So let's see. We have been on here for about 20 minutes. If there's no questions or comments that get typed into the comment deal there, I'll probably shut her down here, but I'll give you kind of like a little preview of kind of upcoming projects, some stuff we might do on these lives. And then also, because the last 2 Mondays we did some race recap, and there was a couple of races that happened over the weekend. I think there was a fat bike race in the Twin Cities, and then there was another big event down with kind of the Southeast gravel stuff going on down in the Southeast. And I was ice fishing Saturday night and Sunday afternoon, so I did not catch up and follow any of the racing over the weekend. And ice fishing was good, by the way. My one son brought home a few pikes. So we've been eating crappie and pike like for dinner the last couple of nights, and I think for the next couple as well. So, but with that, so Thursday, probably I might throw the Aspero 5 in the stand, and we'll talk about what we're going to do with that, the changes. And I might even have some of them done already. And then I've got a little idea project as well with our S5 frame. That might be a little further out. We'll see on that one. And then let's see what else. We've got some used trade-in bikes, and I need to do some bike reviews. I need to put a little more time into recording those and then doing the edits. But I might actually just put up one at the stand and do some kind of like live chat bike reviews, because I think that might be kind of entertaining. And then I can just, they'll go out and they're out there. So just the live stuff, I don't get a chance to, like edit out all the dead space and dead spots and that type of thing. But it kind of just is real live as well. So I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. So, but anyways, if you joined in, if you watched it this far or you watched it later, thanks a bunch. Appreciate it. Reminder, we're doing these Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 for right now. And I had some like grand scheme of topics, and Monday was going to be this and Thursday this type of thing. And kind of moved off of that a little bit, and it's going to be whatever's going on in the shop. So like, if we get to Thursdays and I don't know, something new came up, or we got some cool stuff showed up in the shop by then or whatever, then I might talk about that and switch it up. If not, then, you know, it's kind of whatever's topic of the time or something that people want to talk about. So if there's something you want to talk about on it, let me know. Send us an email to the shop, type into the comments of one of these, and we'll chat on that. Otherwise, we're going to open the shop here in about 5 minutes. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on Thursday's live session. If not,